What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. Paula M has gone to get donuts, but we're here with Manuela, and we're going to just we're going to break in to some of the points that I was talking about with John Wedger. There was a few points I never got to cover, but for those of you who've known me and followed my career on YouTube, know that the Clintons, although never been charged with any of the crimes that allegedly they're being accused of or could be accused of within this new deposition, they have got a long lineage of suspicious activities and individuals with conspiracies attached to them a mile long. And sadly, a lot of the things that I want to talk about or that need to be reminded of, because I think individuals like the Clintons, I feel a lot of the time they think that people just forget. And there was a large story a few years ago that we are going to cover tonight on my channel because it's too risky for the mothership. This is too risky. So that'll be about 9:30 tonight. But we're going to go over the first half of this with the Clintons and just why they're being summoned to this deposition is so telling, and the track record that allegedly these people have. But before we do that, how are you, Manuela? What has been going on with you? And how's Paula? Obviously, she's away to get donuts now, right?
She's off on a Tim Hortons run. She has a hankering for glazed donuts. Apparently, allegedly she hasn't had one in 40 years. So now is the time.
Shut up. Shut up, Paula. Not enough. Did they do glazed donuts 40 years ago, Hen? I mean, I'm just saying, right?
I don't know. Well, maybe that's time. Everybody sees time differently.
I've not had a. She lying. She lying.
I think she just has a craving for Tim Hortons. I mean, come to Canada, all of a sudden we want Tim Hortons coffee and donuts.
I have no idea what a Tim Hortons is. You're gonna have to enlighten me on Tim Hortons.
It is the way we do coffee here. Tim Hortons used to be a hockey player, and he wrapped a Pantera around a bridge pole many years ago.
Listen, put a one in the side chat as soon as a Canadian mentions hockey. That you just lose interest instantly. This is their thing. If you can play it on a frozen body of water, they are all about it. But carry on, please.
We love hockey. We love our hockey and our Timbits. Not because of the accident, but Timbits are the little donut holes, and that's what he was known for. Right. And it just blew up, and this is what everybody's doing. So she's gone to get it. Me, I'm good. I'm happy it's Friday.
Yes. Oh, listen, Friday is the day. Friday is the day where we just unleash the fury that has built up within us for the previous week. And it's going to be a good night tonight, I have to say.
It is.
There's a whole lineup of awesome coming this evening. And I can't wait. Miles Johnson and myself will be live at about 7 o'clock this evening, going over the base project and all things MK Ultra, alien technology, UFO research, all of that stuff. Just taking a little snippet, a little amuse-bouche of a break from delving into the dark worlds that we have been. So I'm looking forward to that. That is tonight, the Sean Atwood channel at 7 o'clock. If you guys could do some liking and some sharing for me, because apparently the algorithm's at it today, and I would very much appreciate it. Now, Manuela, what's your sort of take? Where's your education level, if you pardon the terminology, on the Clintons? I mean, are you aware of the scandals, or are you just sort of at a normal, regular human being level of Clinton knowledge?
I probably know enough to be annoyed and enough not to trust them, but I don't know all the details because probably the narratives are highly edited, especially in Canada or with our government and just the way things are. But it's very, it's like this rise to a lot of riches and people, disappearing or not unaliving themselves, or whatever you want to call it, after they're associated with them or in their circle. There just seems to be a lot of things that are a little suspicious.
Yeah, it's beyond suspicious. And
they start from nothing and they end up with all of this. Like, it's too much. It's almost like too much power. Like, too many favors, too many things happened in the back rooms for now that they're in the front and they're just blatant about it, getting away with it. Like
Yeah.
from when it started, when he was in office with the Monica stuff, right?
Yep.
It was like right there. You already knew that the language and the
Yeah, something
already happened.
Something sort of took our eyes off of them being so squeaky clean when the Lewinsky situation came to fruition. And I believe before Lewinsky, there was a property investment scandal that Bill Clinton was invested in. It sounds like the cryptocurrency scam of the era. That's what it sounded like, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like property investing or something. I will give you the name of it. It was Clinton's involved. No, that's Haiti Clinton Foundation. I'll find it. I'll circle back to it. But Haiti and the Clinton.
But even if you look at their wealth, I mean, they literally went from like $35,000 a year to $200,000 a year to millions, and then super millions, and it happened so, like, it was exponential.
Well, in the dark world of conspiracy, we have to look at this Haiti situation, the Clinton Foundation, the case in which I was trying to cover this with John Wedger the other day, but we just didn't quite get to do it to my satisfaction. And the scandals that surrounded a member of Clinton's association or staff being caught trying to remove 33 children from Haiti without any paperwork, right? Now, when you hear that on Whitewater, thank you, John Ward. Is it gold star for John Ward? Whitewater was the initial Clinton investment scandal. Thank you very much. Now, for the purposes of this presentation, we're going to look at things with a very suspicious mind or a suspicious eye.
Okay.
Because there's too many things. It's like the case with Julia, right? If there was one or two of these things, you turn a blind eye to it. But when it's dozens and dozens and dozens of suspicious activities or individuals, or the suspicious activities of an individual that are public, and then you continue to have a relation. Like, for example, if everybody that done work with Gary Glitter up until when Gary Glitter got arrested, right? You can kind of be like, they probably didn't know. But then people that are still with the person after they've been convicted of hideous crimes against children in the same way as Schwepstein was, okay? People should know by that point to go, okay, actually, 13-year-old girl, you what? You did what to her? Okay.
For sure.
But when it's this continued ignoring, it's this, oh, well, it's business. We have to separate business from the person and all this madness. It's a facilitation of nothing short of normalizing this stuff on a global basis. And an individual like Bill Clinton, okay, and Jeffrey Epstein. Hang on a second.
Buddies.
Do you understand the level of inner circle banter and inner circle con robbery, wherever the freaking word is, that needs to take place for a president to have this painting painted of himself to then be publicly hung in a mansion on an island that later is to be discovered by an alleged global human transporter and abuser of the young individuals? Like, this is some frat boy bet loss madness. Like, I mean, it gets even weirder because it's like, who wore it better? Right? Like, who wore it better?
Bill. Absolutely. Well, that's why that's the one that you hang up on your wall with your buddies.
Right? It's just, it's crazy. So we have to assume
that one killed the picture, but this is like a solo. This is good.
It's crazy. And we have to assume that, it's been there with everyone's knowledge of it being there. And it doesn't bring home that this is normal. Okay. I think we all know that.
No. But they're not normal.
For there to then be a scandal involving 33 children being tried to be removed from Haiti after this natural disaster, I often say that for the billionaires, philanthropists of the world, any of them who are involved in any of these heinous acts, earthquakes, natural disasters, all of that are just prime events for unaccounted children to disappear. And we often talk about how we're sort of getting into the era of where it seems a bit crazy that the elites of the world would be abducting children when they can be putting much more sinister plots into play about producing and, you know, gaining access to private stocks, if you will. And I think there's a certain level where trying to escape through another country with 33 undocumented children, we're going to see less and less of the cases where people are caught doing this. I think this is going to be the last of the political party cohorts that are sent to Haiti to try and grab a bunch of children. It didn't work at all. Getting caught, getting charged, and the Clintons keeping their hands completely and utterly clean of it all.
They scrub it. They have fall guys to stay away from it. But this is like racking up their inventory. They're short, you know, certain young specimens, and they need to go in and fill up their inventory again.
Yeah. And of course, we've had outspoken members of Hollywood who have come forward and accused several individuals, including the Clintons, of being part of a larger group. This person, sadly, is no longer with us due to a self-unaliving off of a shockingly low bridge. And
it's those low bridges and those short little beds. It's those futons. Death by futon.
The danger of the futon and
futon.
You know, a prison bunk bed, which is like looks like a child-sized bunk bed. I don't understand how anyone could. I mean, surely your will to live is just going to make you put your legs down, right?
Yeah, absolutely, all the way.
Like, I feel like that's probably what would happen in a situation like that in prison if it was, because it's such a short little thing to do it on. I don't know. I'm just a guy talking on the internet. But the Clintons portraying themselves as this squeaky clean, great option for America. We've seen the way that Trump would speak to Hillary during the election, their first run together. And, you know, he would comment that she should be in jail.
Yep.
In reference to the email scandals and the fact that the FBI couldn't find anything. It's weird. It's so weird that the FBI seem to be doing a terrible job of analyzing cases such as what went on with Epstein, especially with the tape that they released. I cannot express enough the ridiculousness of releasing a 12-hour-long piece of footage with clear edits and glitches in it to a public that's going to be scrutinizing it under a microscope.
Well, and we don't know what day really that was done, but we also, how stupid are they in the whole angle of it, right? Like right now, I'm showing you a clear tape of my roof. Like, no, I'm not. I'm showing you this. Like, it's like totally useless and only fuels more conspiracies.
Right. And like, I'm sorry.
Spending all their time looking at that footage, counting the minutes, looking at how it's edited, looking at this and that, with the assumption that it is really that day and that time and that place, and that's the only piece of information they have.
Well, I'll tell you something else. Now that you reminded me of something. Where the hell is all the footage? Like, where's the Epstein? Like, where's the Epstein footage? Where's the Diddy footage? Okay, there's been news reports within the Diddy sphere when Diddy was in going up to court and things that quoted the amount of terabytes of information that were taken from his mansions. You know, this is apparently the Hollywood and the world that's completely run off of blackmail and the well-oiled machine that is the blackmail machine, but yet nothing.
I have more ring footage in a day of my front door. Like, it's ridiculous. It's true. Anytime anybody moves by or whatever, a leaf goes by, it's a notification. You see what's going on. And these are dangerous people, dangerous to society, or people of interest that we want to preserve them because they have valuable information. And yet,
yeah, it's crazy, Manuela. It's crazy. And the relationship with Epstein and the Clintons before Paula's away getting donuts, Maria. She'll be back.
She'll be back. Yeah, she just went for a run. To donuts, not a run. She went out to get donuts. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We don't even have a camera on her. Like, I need to get footage to see that she actually went to go get these donuts. These said donuts. The sausage way she went.
Clintons go all the way back to the Rockefeller family connection. Well, it's interesting when we start looking at when someone, exactly as Manuela said, when someone starts out and they have nothing, right? And then a couple of hundred evil deeds later, they are sitting on top of a throne, effectively. Tim Hortons, Maria, yes, I do believe that.
Yeah, Tim Hortons.
Was Monica Lewinsky's dress blue?
I think so.
Was it like a navy blue?
I don't know if it was a navy blue or was just like a French. No, I think maybe more or French blue, or I don't remember the kind of blue.
Did you not have one of those?
You know that her lipstick shade sold out everywhere.
Wow, that is so random, man. Women are so funny, right? That is such a women, and I bet you all thought you were the only ones that were doing it, and then
or knew about it. So a friend of mine, Mac did the makeup for her, and her lipstick shade sold out. Okay. It was like the hottest color.
Damn. Yeah, it was very, very, very dark blue. Okay, yeah, nice. Let me see if I can pull up that dress, actually. Let's get some facts here. Monica.
Royal blue, navy blue. I don't know if it's royal or navy. I don't know which blue that is. We'll see it if you can pull it up. Yeah, I have a feeling it's more royal than navy, but.
Okay, so. None of this helps, Google. None of this is helping. Okay, the location of this blue stained dress. So it's definitely super mega ultra dark blue. Definitely. But yeah, anyway, but it's a different dress than the one that no, my phone, I swear to God, in my phone is starting to come to life. Like
yeah, I think actually you might want to call that a French blue.
Okay, sure. Let's go with that. But I'm telling you, this freaking
AI.
The gentleman didn't want to bring her in. What gentleman? I don't know. A gentleman walking her.
Oh.
All right, give me 1 second.
No, you stay. Wow. The stained blue dress. We were looking at what shade of blue that is. It's like that's royal blue. Royal blue?
Yeah.
All right, this is from a day ago. The truth about Bill Clinton's cozy friendship with Jeffrey Epstein and his lovely girls as House subpoenas testimony. When Bill Clinton looked out of his private plane window as he came to land in Africa, he likely had no idea how much the 2002 trip would change his life. The tour was to launch his new nonprofit's AIDS initiative, taking in 5 countries and even spending a day with former African President Nelson Mandela. But those aspects of the trip have long been forgotten as ex-president Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, and others were flying as guests to Jeffrey Epstein about the most infamous jet later to be known as the Lolita Express. That is just the grimmest of the grim. Devious Epstein, later exposed as a PDF file, had staffed. Hang on a second. Let me just, there's too many words here. Let me just do this.
You're doing.
The devious Epstein, later exposed a PDF file, had staffed the jet with young girls. One of the tactics he is said to have employed to impress and coerce powerful people. I felt Epstein put the president at risk with those young girls on board, said Spacey in an interview with Piers Morgan last year. It was disturbing. There were very young girls on those flights. I didn't understand at the time who they were or why they were there. Okay, Kevin. Sure you didn't, mate. You couldn't put 2 and 2 together, no? You're on a plane. Hang on, what year is this? What year is this? 2002, did it say? Okay, so this is maybe before Epstein was outed. But sure, Kev, you couldn't have put that together. An eyebrow-raising photo was literally surfaced from the trip, shows Clinton, then 56, reclining in an airport lounge in a yellow shirt, while Shantae Davis, a 22-year-old massage therapist and Epstein's employee, rubs his shoulders. All right, there we go.
It's just so bizarre.
So bizarre.
It's so creepy. It's so provocative. That's what they want. They provoke everything.
Yeah, but it's more what's weird about this picture to me, that no one can see the picture, Ron. No one can see the picture. What's weird about this picture to me is why is he not in like a first class lounge?
Well, because it's a private airplane, sweetie. There's nobody there.
Okay, so it's like a private airport, you mean? Like the wee
it is small jets, right? Yeah. So this is not this is just in and out. This is probably,
weird, man.
But this is to give you an idea how comfortable they felt doing this, even in a private setting, to do it very publicly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's weird. Why would you do that? Why not go somewhere else? And you know what I mean?
No, I get it. It looks like a weird sort of power move or something. I don't know. It's odd.
It's spoiling the president, sweetie.
Right. This week,
I have a picture of him doing that, because I am pretty sure that that's just one picture. I'm sure there's a video of the whole thing. It probably got very inappropriate. I think it was a way for him to show him the most decent one and say, but we got the rest.
This is the warm-up.
How about this? Let me give you another one. Right now, I'm not saying the Clintons are innocent, but let's just assume not everything they done was intentional. If you're just sat there and Epstein says, go up behind him and start rubbing his shoulders, and you snap a couple of pictures, this looks to me like one of those blackmail-y moments, one of those moments where you could argue from both sides. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happened, because I personally believe the Clintons have a little bit of a...
Okay, I'm going to debunk that little theory right away. First of all, if somebody touches you and you're not expecting it, you jump.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying he wouldn't have leaned into it.
How relaxed they are. That is the posture of somebody who's been enjoying, like, you know what I mean? It's like, he's relaxed. Look at his head. All of you guys who know that posture, you've seen that. He's relaxed. Look at his face.
He's not that relaxed.
Yeah. Okay. So take it as less of a, this is what this could be. But look at this in a way of, this could be something that these sort of images, these sort of moments could easily be fabricated with somebody to build up a portfolio of blackmail. I'm not saying that's what it is.
You swap this in and out so easily. You could swap her out in and out, because the body stays the same. Look at how you could easily edit. The face and the hands. Absolutely, it's easy. This is. I can do this with my vision.
We need to keep in mind that everyone is saying Hollywood is built on blackmail. The music industry is built on blackmail. Well, where are all the tapes? And if it's built on blackmail, and again, let me just reiterate what I was trying to say there. I'm not saying this particular image is a setup or anything like that, but you could see how somebody could quite easily create moments like this as a form of blackmail. That's really what my point was, because that's what we keep hearing about. So,
well, you don't know. On this, you can see how this could be presented also with different date stamps, different times. You could be positioning these people anywhere. Yeah. All of a sudden, where you think he was, and all of a sudden he's located right there next to, going to visit so-and-so, or maybe that is boarding the,
Where are his bodyguards? Because this guy flew with bodyguards
taking
everywhere.
Pictures.
Right? It's so random. It's just Clinton by himself with his woman. Else. Right? It's weird, man.
Empty.
Yeah.
Diddler has all the tapes. The Diddler,
Yeah,
because let's not forget, do you have that footage of Hillary Clinton at a fundraise with Diddy, and Diddy's endorsing her and stuff like that.
Yeah. But again, I'm not saying Clinton's innocent. I'm in no way saying, oh, look at the pictures of the Clintons and just assume that they're innocent. That's not what I'm saying. But it's fascinating to me. Where's all the blackmail stuff? Where is all the blackmail stuff? It's all built on blackmail, but there's none of it. We're just going to keep it all in a big folder called shush to the public, okay, in an FBI vault somewhere. That's what it's going to be like. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually quite creepy if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody else. Where is the rest of the people? Because he didn't fly alone. He always had a crew.
Right.
You know, and he's supposed to have been taken when Chris Tucker and these other people were around, Kevin Spacey, but you don't see anybody. It was like they cleared the room just for him.
And again, this floor has not been walked on by people recently. Look at the floor. It's like a freaking mirror.
And it looks dark. If you look, it looks dark in the background, so there's not enough light.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's just one of those images that I wanted to point out because we hear all about this blackmail, and it drives me nuts. But anyway, let's carry on with this. This week, Clinton and his wife, ex-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, were subpoenaed to testify before the House Oversight Committee about Epstein, who died in jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex transportation charges. Staying up to date with the latest news by that's not, we don't need that. The committee's late letter to Hillary Clinton described a potential close relationship between her family and Epstein and Maxwell, according to reports. By the time of the 2002 trip, Clinton had been linked to mysterious Manhattan financier Epstein for at least a decade, and that was by 2002. So that's a long time. Let's bring up the island. That's a good one. So that's Jeffrey Epstein again. That's the plane. Epstein donated $1,000 to Clinton's election campaign in 1992, which is the 10 years. And then later gave his wife 20 grand for her US Senate campaign in 1999, according to public records. In between both, Epstein and Maxwell visited the White House 17 times during Clinton's 2 terms in office in 1993. Starting in 1993, sorry. Epstein also later visited the Clintons at the Harlem office of the Clinton Foundation in 2002, according to reports. The African trip was the second of the Clintons' estimated 26 trips on Epstein's Lolita Express, on which he occasionally traveled without Secret Service, according to flight logs, a breach of presidential protocol. Nothing sus about
That's impossible. He always went with bodyguards. His flight logs, at least the ones that I saw and that I have, he always has bodyguards. It always has the bodyguards. Always, always, always. He says Bill Clinton and 8 bodyguards. Bill Clinton or 12 bodyguards, you know? He always had the bodyguards.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, let's just for a second, right? Imagine you're a president, okay? And you're having to go somewhere without your bodyguards. That is not going to be a nice feeling. So whatever you're getting up to has got to be worth that level of risk.
Or he felt safe that he was taken care of.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. But still, there's a lot of things that seem to be breaking protocol. Another thing is, you're not allowed to bring any outside catering into a presidential event. Did you know that? Like, if you're the only food you're going to
have Obama hot dog and pizza.
Well, we'll talk about that later. We can't really mention that here, but we'll talk about that later on my channel because we don't want to put the mothership at risk here. But yeah, it's weird. So federal lawmakers are re-examining those trips and former president's relationship with Epstein amidst a winding probe into the financier. The move comes after Justice Department interviewed Maxwell. Now, listen, if you've got, we spoke about this last night, right? Like, if Paula and Manuela are like a mad human transportation group, right? And then Paula is the leader of it all. The first person you're talking to is Manuela. Your first person you are interviewing is the partner. You're going to be like, right, be a key witness. They'll probably throw deals at them or whatever it is they do, right? You just locked this woman up and just said nothing. And it wasn't until this whole shenanigan with the list and all of it, and I'm telling you something, there is two ways in my head that this is gone. This, because, and we mentioned this yesterday, the Israeli war, the World War III that was about to kick off, that ended after like 4 days, that seemed to make Trump infuriated. He seemed to be enraged that was nipped in the bud. And there was, the targets were all like in the middle of nowhere. It just all seemed weird. And then you've got the unaliving of the only credible witness in this whole thing, Virginia. Well, not the only credible witness, but the most famous credible witness in all of this.
The most vocal. I would say the most
squeakiest wheel.
Right? Suddenly unalives herself. What? All in the same year. World War III, self-unaliving, the list disappears.
Well, telling you she's going to unalive herself a few weeks before that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ron, sadly, it was one of those, I hate it when I'm right scenarios. But here's the thing. If we have a war, and I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to...
Look up.
Oh, yeah. That's... Oh, one more. Oh, no. All right. So if we've got a war, and 50% of the countries in that war, 50% of them have this massive conspiracy theory attaching to the royal family, attaching to, everything, every conspiracy you can throw at this. And then you wonder why all the blackmail stuff's disappearing, because the only thing that would make sense for a 50% of that war to be involved is over being able to blackmail for control, right?
Yeah.
So can someone make it?
Yank everybody, put everybody back in their place. So this is what happens. You yank them around, they're going to comply. Oop, you don't need the war anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think that
you yank them, you scare them. Like, I think this is with her too. I think they yanked her. Like, she's like, you know what? I'll be good if you give me this, this, and this, or I'll do what you know. This is first.
I think what's happened, right, is in this let me just get real. There we go. So let's discuss a hypothetical situation where there's a war going on, and in this war, it was preordained that it was going to last X amount of time, so that X amount of things could happen, and there'd be an impending global doom as a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And then what if one of the countries involved in this war decided to pull a swift one and just nip everything in the bud a few days early, right as you're about to release the things you need a distraction from, leaving you to look like a bit of a moron, right? And leaving you to scramble, because it felt a bit like that. But again, I don't know. I don't know why all this is happening. I don't know why Trump is doing things the way he's done. I'm kind of happy that we've got everyone getting the depositions sitting out, and people are going to be having a day in court and all of that. That is awesome. But sadly, history is not on the side of the results we want in situations like this. It's really, really not. But Paula, what do you think? What do you think is going to come from the depositions? What do you think? Do you think we're going to see one of these people thrown as a sacrificial lamb? Is it suddenly going to be the lesser FBI director and attorney generals, absolute all of their fault, and they're going to go in a hole for 70 or 80 years? What do you think?
I think they're high enough. We want a meteor person. We need somebody who's a decision maker, not just a follower.
Somebody. I mean, James Comey. I know he was subpoenaed to appear before Congress or testify or whatever, something like that. James Comey, the FBI guy,
right?
He is the father of the prosecutor against Diddy. His daughter is the one that prosecuted Diddy, and then I don't think that people are going to be happy just with the FBI guy taking the fall. And let's not forget that people nowadays are not like Oliver North with Ronald Reagan. They don't, I mean, there are some people that inspire you, that kind of sacrificial thing. I mean, I'll take the bullet for you because I respect you and everything. But I don't think that Clinton...
They have no credibility.
And I don't think Clinton evokes that on people, like people don't want to, die for him or anything like that. I think it's going to be everybody for themselves. You know what?
I don't know
don't know if they're going to give up Obama or they're going to give Clinton, but one of them is going down.
It was that I would think one of those
They have to.
One
right
of
now
those
it's lottery.
Mount Rushmore hopefuls. Yeah, it's got to come down.
Well, I think it's going to take something of that level.
Yeah.
For Trump to be fully vindicated from any kind of you haven't done enough from all of this. But is he just covering his own ass? Is Elon right? Was he all over the list and that's why it's not being released? Even if there was no shenanigans from Trump, it doesn't look good. Oh, see, Maria, that I tell you what, Bill going proper mental, right? Like sympathetically down the dementia road, okay? Like, and suddenly it's all his fault, right? It's all Bill's fault. Everything gets pinned on Bill, and he's just.
Well, who just died of dementia? Who was the one who just?
That's probably what's going to happen. Oh my word.
It's contagious in that circle.
Yeah, if anything happens on a legal basis to the Clintons, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a bat shit crazy Bill Clinton taking the blame for everything, but being too far gone to put in an institution. So they just put him outside.
The thing that really bothers me is that they say, "Oh well, you know, he doesn't know like what's his name? Biden." That the doctor didn't want to prosecute him because he was too he thought he was not competent to stand trial, but yet he was competent enough to be the president of the United States.
Well, you can run a country,
right?
But you can't, phone a friend because you don't remember a phone number, unlock your front door, but you can run a country.
You can't walk across the stage or something, but you can run a country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I think they really need to take somebody down. And I think they're debating which one is going to be.
It's got to be. It's got to freaking be.
It's got to be the guy.
It's got to be a white whale.
It can't. Well, then it's going to have to be Billy Boy.
Because they're going to have to do something big enough to drown out everybody slowly going, but what about the tapes?
Well, Trump just let it slip when he was on his way to the helicopter that Clinton had been 28 times to the island.
Well, it's Billy or Donnie, but we have to see who's going to be who's going to make the biggest, who's the right one at the right time.
Here's another thing. That's if he's been to the island 28 times, that's just what there's paperwork for.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm sorry, but could you imagine if it was how many evil people can fit in a private jet? 50?
Depends on if it's a 7 they are. Depends on if it's a 737.
No. I mean on the Lolita Express. Is it like a 50?
Lolita Express was a 727 or it's a big, you had like up to 49 people come. Yes.
Right. So let's assume then every trip somebody has to take the fall and sign the logbook. So if every 10 trips Bill Clinton's the one that draws the short straw, okay, and he's the one that has to have his name on the roster, because I'm pretty sure it goes down as guest as everybody else that goes, right?
Yeah.
So who's to say that somebody else's guest isn't Bill Clinton or Trump, and they just didn't draw the short straw for their name to go down in the logs?
Absolutely.
But
also the logs are strategic.
Yeah.
And we don't even know if the logs are even, I mean, all these administrations, everybody's touching it. Who knows if they're not doctoring it up as they go along? This is like, we assume that these are untouched and not played with.
Right. But listen, I'm fully endorsing the Bill Clinton dementia narrative. That is the cleanest outcome for all of this. Put it all on Bill. Give Hillary a redemption divorce.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the one, man. Maria.
Oh no, she can't.
No, Hillary. No, you know what? I think people dislike Hillary so much. I think that she would be the one going down, to tell you the truth.
She's not meaty enough. She deserves it. They both do.
Are you kidding? Hillary Clinton was
I agree.
everybody hates her.
I know,
Everybody
but she's
likes
still
Billy.
not-
Everybody,
no.
people will give Billy a pass, but they won't give Hillary a pass because
No. It doesn't matter about passes. It doesn't matter. It'll either be they both go down or
I
just
think
Bill
so.
goes down. There's no way. There's no way the system. Hillary knows too much. That's why she's constantly laughing. Look at this picture.
She won't go down. She'll take him down before she goes down.
This is the face of a man with no leverage, and this is the face of a woman with nothing but leverage. Right here. That is what you were looking at. Right
There's
there.
another couple that looks like that very recently too.
Something else, man. So look, in early 2003, the former president visited Epstein's private Caribbean retreat, Little St. James, known as the PDF Island. The Clinton camp has many times insisted that former president never stepped foot on the island. However, according to late Epstein accuser Virginia Roberts, the Clintons was spotted sitting across from the dinner table with two lovely girls on the Epstein's private Caribbean island. Well, isn't that weird? Did somebody not just unalive themselves? Is that not what I would refer to as a key witness? It's just infuriating.
Yeah.
So her lawyer has all this information too. Obviously, there are files and records that they have. What happened to all of that? Where is that?
Do you know what? I've just triggered myself. Yeah, Ron's just triggered himself. Do you realize when we're all dead, right? This shit will still be going on.
I don't know.
No. Unless something's done about this, this is just the pretext for existence. Okay. The only thing they're going to start layering on top is the restrictions of our freedoms based off of fear they are going to create and save us from. Watch this space. Watch this space within the next few years. It'll either be that 7-mile wide asteroid that's definitely a spaceship that Joe Rogan says is coming towards us, or it's going to be the importation of armies that start civil wars between nations, and then we're going to be begging the government to save us from the problem they've created to restrict our liberties even more. But the problem is there's going to be a large portion of the population that begs for it and then says thank you.
Absolutely, but that's the whole psyops, right? That's the whole manipulation. We're going to ask them to save us when they created the problems, and we're going to lose. We're
going to thank them from the problem they created
for taking away our freedom.
Yes, and we're going to be thankful for helping us.
Right, that's the thing. They have to make it by design that we're grateful for the restrictions.
That we voluntarily we asked for it, and we begged for it.
It is just so smart and slimy. Like from an evil genius point of view, this is.
And then they said, well, we got your full cooperation. You wanted. We didn't want to do this. You made us do this.
I just want to ask everyone in the side chat, when you're talking to people about this is what I want you to ask them. If what is going on in our country right now was a movie, what would you be shouting at the people of that country? What would you be telling them to do in the movie? Right? Would you be telling them that they can't let this happen? Would you be telling them to rise up? Would you be telling them to take cover? Would you be telling them to prepare? What would you be doing? Because you should be internalizing that and asking yourself. Because that's the scariness of all of this. So let's see. In the UK, in the US, across Europe, Australia, a bunch. Run's a good one. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, we can go with Run. Run's never a bad option, by the way. I just want to point that out. Okay, it's not something you can repeat forever, sadly, but it is defaulting to Run's never a bad one. You can do it a couple of times. Jesus is coming. Well, tell him to hurry up. Like how? Listen. For all the Jesus crew out there, big shout out to the Jesus crew. Like if he's coming, tell him to hurry up. And for all of you Jesus crew out there, I am starting a business called Rapture.net, where when the rapture happens, if you sign up for my service, when the rapture happens, I will send a condescending email to all of your friends saying how you have just been raptured and they are going to live on hell on earth. It will be $19 a month, and I will even cancel your Netflix and all of that for you. Okay, the Rapture.net, coming soon, America. I'm looking for 10,000 Americans monthly signed up to this. If 60,000 of you will take alien abduction insurance, Rapture insurance, baby. So yeah, it's coming. But yeah, listen, can you tell them to hurry up, mate? Like I'm not. I don't
religion.
follow Jesus. Okay, I believe that he's a cool guy. All right, all good, but he's not my God, right? But I'm up for any of the gods coming in and intervening at this point. Any of them. Anybody that wants to step up from the higher plane and just come down just one time, take away all of the big global PDF, and then let us just repopulate and rebuild the systems that are now, now that 90% of the government and religious staff have evaporated. We'll fill the void and we'll start again. Just any of yous, even some of the really obscure gods that like 8 or 9 people believe in, but turns out that you are the real badass ones. Step in, mate. Step in, 100%. I'll even convince all of the really crazy religious people to turn the other way so they can convince themselves it was their God. Do you know what I mean? But we need something, because this is going to go on and it's going to go on and it's going to go on and it's going to go on. And children are going to be destroyed over and freaking over. And it's going to continue. Calm down, brother. I can't calm down. I'm triggering myself, Riley. I'm not going to lie. Like I am sat here. I'm sat here having a conversation with myself, metaphorically at the bus stop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because it never ends, because the people in power also then accommodate the decision makers and turn that into their power as well. So every step of the way where you think you have a check and balance, there's no checks and balances here for these people, because they redefine the protocol, the procedure. And therefore, where there used to be a rule, the new guy changes it to accommodate, to hide his bad report card. And then the next one. So the more we get into it, everything has been changed. Everything's been massaged behind the scenes. So you can never really get to the end of anything, because nobody really has authority anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you. See, I just want to Lucky's comment here about censorship, right? See, there's 2 ways of looking at it, right? If we look at YouTube like it's a public square and there's a revolution taking place, and every single time one of the individuals fighting the resist or are part of the resistance, walk into that public square armed to the teeth, ready for a fight, you're taking out the game, because your weaponization of yourself is what gives you away and is what takes you down. In the same way as censorship we can be seen as bowing down to censorship, we're actually unweaponizing our voice from the powers that be that want to censor us. It sucks. Paula, Manuela, I need you to talk for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back.
All right. They need us to talk for a couple of minutes. All right, we're going to have the talk now.
Okay.
Time for our talk.
Yeah. So no, I mean, what do you guys make of it? Do you think that one of the Clintons is going to bite the bullet? Closer to me, do you think that one of the Clintons is going to bite the bullet? My money is on Hillary. Nobody likes her.
I don't think Hillary's meaty enough. I think Hillary going down, I don't think she's meaty enough. I think you need to take down.
But people really dislike her. Who do you dislike more, guys? If you were asked,
I never liked her. I don't respect her as a woman. I don't respect her. Never mind. This is just the whole thing. Her integrity, the zero. I think her corruption shows more than his.
I think that this is what I'm telling you. She comes as hateful. Bill, it's all Bill with the cigar. And, it's like the way he talks and he makes fun of himself.
Hillary, but I don't think he ever tells the truth. I think he's just he's smooth.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But Hillary is a biatch to me.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, though. Like, if there was ever a picture to go along with Maria's suggestion of a dementia-riddled Clinton, is this one right here. Like, that is...
What was that? What's going on?
Like, I've never seen someone's eye so concaved that I feel like we have sunken past the nose bone of the skull and it is sinking in behind his sinuses.
Well, the soul's been sucked out. There's no...
That's another, yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with soul sucked. 100%.
Yeah. Look at that.
Look at it. I mean, it might be worse. There might be a bit of trick of the light here, but that is definitely that skin curvature. That ain't a trick of the light. How much depth there is here.
They're sunken around the eye. So you lose, yeah, his sockets are
Oh,
sunken.
hang on a second. Hang on a second.
But he has rosacea too on top of it all.
Very likely. Where is Paula still here?
Paula is still here.
Paula, can you come here? I've just had a call I just got a message from my mom. I need to quickly go and call her.
Okay. My money is on people, like people think that of Hillary Clinton not being meaty, but actually Hillary Clinton is the one that did all the dirty work for Clinton, for Bill.
Of course she did. But she also, yeah, that's right. But she also did the dirty work for herself. She put Bill for, she liked being where she was because she could control a lot of things. He was the one in the front. She was able to.
Yeah, no, but what I mean, even her staff, guys, even her staff said that even the bodyguards hated working with her because she was mean. She was a Meghan Markle. She ordered them not to look at her straight in the eye. They couldn't walk by her. They couldn't talk to her. It's like, it was horrible. So to me, if they're going to bite the bullet on somebody, on one of the Clintons, it's not going to be Bill.
But she's also been super humiliated in public, and I think part of
who humiliated her?
The whole scandal of her losing the election.
That's not a humiliation. People don't just. There you go. People just don't like her. She's a skank. I'm sorry. She's a mean skank, and she's the kind of person that doesn't
promise things. I believe.
What do you mean she was promised?
I think she was promised the presidency. Absolutely.
Really?
I think so. Yes, and they
took. Yeah, but they didn't count on the outcome of people.
Yes, but the outcome was also controlled by the narrative, because if actually they changed the narrative.
Well, she was supposed to run, and then Oprah backed Obama.
That's right.
And she was shocked because Oprah said that she was going to endorse her.
I think that's where it all.
I wonder if Oprah is part of that machine, because Oprah, remember, guys, when she did that thing, and Hillary, she's asking her to are you going to run?
Maybe
are you going to run?
That's going to pay. Maybe she's going to fall.
Oprah. My money's on Oprah or Tyler Perry or
no, he's not big enough. I think Oprah's bigger. She's more iconic, American. Somebody big, a Billy, an Oprah,
Oprah. To me, because Oprah's reputation is taking a beating, and nobody's speaking out for her.
Yeah, and I think that would be very sad, because it would justify a lot of things. People would it would be cathartic for a lot of people to see the Oprah versus Hillary. Who would you rather see take the fall?
Who would you, one, if you want Hillary down, or two, if you want Oprah down, guys? Which one? One, Hillary, two, Oprah. Which one would you like to see go down? I would personally like both to go down.
And I want a three. A three is both.
The three is both, but I think it's one or two. No, yeah, I would, you know what? I would like to see them all in jail, to tell you the truth.
It would be nice to see Oprah trip up and do that.
Hillary, they all want
Hillary.
Yeah. Two, Oprah. Three, both.
Yeah.
Guys, no, I'm serious. Two, both, three. They want three. You see, they want them both. I mean, they're both, and because you know what makes it, at least for me, what really upsets me is that they're very preachy. They think that they're leading a decent life when they're actually monsters. And they're like, Oprah's preaching about wellness and how to get better.
That's the problem. It's that they do come up where they keep saying, we're doing this for you, and this is how you should do things, and this is, and meanwhile, behind the scenes, it's a nightmare. It is like beyond evil and immoral.
No, I get it. But I'm saying that that's the problem that people have. Because, for example, Bill Clinton is not preaching to anybody. And, it's like when
Bill?
Not preaching, not the way, like, what's her name? Hillary. I mean, he gives his speeches and stuff like that, but he does.
Would have been a good one to put down.
Yeah. Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris, truly a nobody. I think they put her, I believe they put her.
She's not meaty enough. She's a little.
They put her there by default. I mean, she's a clown. Kamala Harris is a clown. But no, I mean, but Oprah's not up for grabs right now. She wasn't subpoenaed to appear before the Senate.
No.
It was the Clintons. It was James Comey. Who else was subpoenaed, guys, to appear before before Congress? I know there's quite a few.
The Clintons are going to be
hyenas. That's a good word, hyena. I love that word.
Hyena?
Can't we choose Ellen DeGeneres? No, I mean, we're talking about people who were subpoenaed to appear. I don't know if it's people. No, the ones that were subpoenaed, a bunch of them were subpoenaed to appear before Congress. I know that James Comey, former FBI, the Clintons. Who else is Brennan? Oh, and what's his name? William Barr also.
Oh,
William Barr, and his father was Donald Barr, who's the one who chose Epstein.
That's right.
As a student, and suddenly, he's the son
Dalton
of Donald
School.
The Dalton School. Comey. Danita Conradi, Britney Spears. Britney Spears hasn't been subpoenaed or anything like that.
Yeah, she's gonna. They're not.
Mueller.
She's not.
They say Mueller. What was he subpoenaed as well? Mueller. Comey, Mueller, the Clintons, Barr, Janet Reno, Eric. Which Eric? Eric Trump? I don't think so. The point is, some people are being very cynical, and they said nothing will come out of it.
I don't think so either. I think it's just going to be an exercise in futility.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Because they're also masters at how. Do you notice that when you have these kind of situations, they never really answer a question? Like they'll ask you something, and then they just, may I first say this, or can I say? And it's like it circles and circles. Then they run out of time, and the next thing happens, and they're just really good at sideswiping. You really never get to a concrete yes, no, this, and they could ask those type of questions and force those kind of answers. But in these situations, they don't do that because that's not their ultimate goal. Their ultimate goal is to diffuse the situation. It's not to have a smoking gun, because the ultimate goal is, even for the people who are conducting this, they also want to continue to have power in the future, and they may need these people.
Yeah, the people with the real power, we don't even know their names. The people that you're seeing, guys, are people that they chose to put in those are the puppets. Those are the little puppets that they put out there. I mean, they're people with real power. We haven't seen them at all. And they're never going to show their faces. Those are the people you don't see them.
Their power.
You don't see them at the Grammys. You don't see them at the Oscars. You don't see them anywhere.
No, they move in the shadows. They don't need to be. They
Manuela, set the record straight. Is Barron half Canadian?
Who?
Barron Trump.
Well, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not half Canadian.
No, he's not Canadian.
No Canadian. He may want to be. Maybe that's how he's going to turn us into the 51st state.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to say it's birthright. Barron's birthright. You have to take that country back for my son.
But I got to tell you, it must be very uncomfortable for them right now, all this unwanted attention, because they know that the big people don't want any more attention. They don't want people digging in more. So they're going to have to give one up. And I don't think people
they have to see how they can cover it up some more, because they're covering it up and something's squeaking. There's a few cracks, and they know that they have to renovate and they got to move things around. So they're going to try to cover it up or fix it, so that we will be satisfied for a next period of time, half a decade. It depends on how long they need to do their next operate, or what it is, their next plan.
Les Wexner and Bill Gates. Is Les Wexner still alive? Guys, for real, did they subpoena Bill Gates? I don't know who put you out in timeout, Cryptid Finder. I don't have access to the channel. No, but I mean, I don't think that the people in power will want them to keep. This is why Trump tried to shut it down and said that, why are you still talking about this creepy looking guy, right? Epstein.
Yeah.
And this is why when people.
Nothing to see here, folks.
They thought that they could use Trump's popularity to squash it. And when that didn't work out, and Trump saw that, I think that's people really got louder and louder and louder. And then Trump said, you know what, screw it. Do whatever you have to do, but because I think that if Trump said that, it's because he had already talked to the people in power. And they said, okay, fine, this is not going to go away. Just do what you have to do. And I think they already know who they're going to sacrifice. That's my take on this.
I agree that they already know what they're going to do. Unless something drastically changes, they already know what they're going to do, because it's already set up. Because when he first said, why are we still talking about this? This was already the plan. You're going to say this is going to happen, this is going to happen. But I think what happened is people didn't buy it as quickly as they thought.
No,
they didn't accept it.
No, they thought people would accept it.
They thought people would accept it, and people didn't. And they're like, oh, we got to go to plan B now.
But they did try to keep it quiet. I mean, they doubled down a little bit on it, Manuela.
They did.
Yeah, they did double
But
down
it's still
on
not
that.
working because there's still the wild cards. I think Trump preempting his relationship with Elon was a bad calculation.
What do you mean? That he should have turned on Elon?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that was a bad calculation because Elon controls a very large platform that people.
And Elon had
can
access to a
sway
lot
the
of
narrative.
confidential documents.
Just look at what Elon did with Grok, with the Grok thing, where it was allegedly anti-Semitic, and then he said, "Hang on a second, let me reprogram it," and now it's very this way. Like, you can correct it. He corrects the programming and changes the narrative. It changes how it performs. Do you not think he's doing that to his entire platform and can do that at any given time and can change anything? So this is somebody you would want to have on your good side. You're not going to want him because
she doesn't want poor tuxedo. She wants, you see, she's supposed to be mine. And she wants to go with Manuela. I don't know what to do. Poor tuxedo.
It's okay.
See?
No. I'm going to take you out for a walk in a bit. A few more minutes. When Ron comes back, I'll take
Yeah, we have to go.
It's our next dog walk time.
Yeah, City has to.
Exercising the dog is very good, very important.
City, where are you going?
Got to do what they got to do. But I think that's really interesting because I think that when you want to be able to control, when you control the media, you control the narrative, mainstream media. And then you control what people believe and think because you're controlling their supply of information. And this is how you affect. Because remember, when they talk about population, 90% of the population aren't real thinkers. They're followers. It's the 10% that think.
All right. Sorry about that. Thank you.
So when you think about that, it's a problem. That's why there's only few. That's why it's a pyramid like this. There's only few at the top that are thinking and doing and planning, and the masses just follow. So if you're controlling the platform, you're controlling what the group sees, thinks, believes, and experiences.
I already think that they already chose who's going to take the bullet. They're just going through the motions to make it, and also to help thinking.
Well, how about this, Paula? How about this? We're talking about the one that's been chosen to take the bullet, right? What about the other side of this? What about this is a vindication move? What if we're going to see evidence come to light that completely vindicates the Clintons of any horrible crimes, and it's going to be revolutionary? You don't think it's a bait and switch?
Possible, but then what about all the other things that they've done?
People want blood.
Things that they've done wrong.
People want blood.
No, people do want blood, right? But history has shown us that, man, again, though, you gotta remember, Paula, there's the underlying rumble of civil unrest brewing in the US and in the UK. I think there's a lot of things that could go wrong in our particular mind that could be perceived as wrong in this case.
Like a powder keg right now, you can feel it, can't you?
Yeah, it's just weird. See, Maria, I can't. Yeah, I'm so cynical, Maria, of the shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, and maybe I'm cynical. Maybe I've lost a little bit of hope. And all in Europe, Nicoletta. Thank you. Yeah. Maybe Ron has lost a little bit of hope in the powers that be ever doing the right thing. Then we kind of forget that. Do our votes really matter? Is there really two powers? Because it's one puppet master that controls them all. And
how can our votes matter when they keep switching around the ridings and the prerequisites and the qualifications and how things are? How can they?
Yeah,
because
plus
they massaged the whole thing. They've diluted the entire process. So you have this false belief of your voice matters, and then you have your duty to do this. But it's like making a hole in water.
But if you had a look at how the voting system works in America, like in my head, everyone votes. They count up all the numbers. Whoever has the most votes wins, right?
That makes sense.
But in America, it's like, oh, here, listen. If this state votes this way, it doesn't matter because there's these swing states. What does any of this mean? Just everyone go and vote, count up the votes. Whoever gets the most votes wins. That's how an election should be. But America make it into like a 9-part saga.
Right. And they have to have, certain areas. You can have an area of 3 people, and if those 3 people vote one way, they get a seat. Then you have an area with 1 million people.
Right. How it make that? Like, I just feel like at some point when they were making America, one of the people had seriously undiagnosed mental health that no one knew about at the time. And the forefathers are sitting down there like, oh yeah, he's one of the founders. So we kind of have to add in some of his stuff. And he's like, right, this is how the voting is going to go. This is how the healthcare is going to go. And it's just remnants of mental Pete, one of the founding fathers of America that no one likes to talk about. That's what it feels like.
I agree.
Because it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense how you would allocate the numbers and the weight. There's no weighted average. There's no sense to how it's done.
No.
There's no sense to how it's done. It's done intent. They want to know where you work, what your education is, and then they'll decide what that writing looks like, because they know then you're predisposed to behave this way or that way. So it's just a psychology map. It's not. It's not just one man, one vote.
Yeah. And I got really triggered watching a short the other day about a guy who's talking about the fundamental differences between public school and private school, and what elites' children learn and politicians' children learn compared to what our children learn. It's 2 completely different ways of thinking and being successful. And one is all about making money and keeping money and earning money in business, and the other is all about home economics and like making sure you know how to like sew a button on.
You know, my friend used to call it the mollusks and the gazelles. They're like
mollusks. That is a great way of putting it. That is exactly.
Mollusk, and then you have the elites or the people who control their children go to the gazelles. Like, they're faster, they're more connected, they're able to have what they need, but everybody else rummages around, and you keep this separate this way, and then they make the different connections, and they operate in different spheres, and they have different aptitude.
Let me know if the mics are balanced now, people. I do apologize. For some reason, the settings you leave this software in aren't the settings you come back to the next time you come back to use it. So I just keep forgetting to adjust just let me know if that's better though. Because at my end there's no difference, but it should be difference at your end. So yeah. Just let me know. But anyway, let's continue on, because Paula is always louder, but that's okay, because it's better than ASMR Paula. Thank you, Maria. Right, nice one. So let me just jump into the headlines just quickly, because it's important.
Okay,
in fact, actually, before we do that, let me just grab this, which has now disappeared. Where is it? There it is. So there's also a lot of suspicious activities where the Clinton Foundation has been involved in charities where funds have allegedly vanished, where atrocities haven't been dealt with. There was the Benghazi situation where Hillary Clinton ordered no retaliation and no apology for standing down troops before 4 American soldiers were gunned down, I do believe. And the track record is ridiculous. Whitewater was 1970s to 1990s. Monica Lewinsky, 1998. Hillary's private email scandal that spans 6 years. This is Hillary's private email scandal. There was a WikiLeaks info dump of tens of thousands of emails that covered Hillary, various individuals from the Obama administration, the 2 very, very influential brothers who we'll talk about on my live stream, and an entire web of conspiracy surrounding an FBI release of predatory terminology and symbology, which again we will cover over on my channel later because it's too spicy for over here.
Hmm.
The Benghazi attack, of course, was 2012.
Because I had to interview Mr. Andrew Lowney, thanks to Sean Atwood hooking me up with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's
but
super cool.
I know, but if you have another live after that, I can join you if you want me to, okay?
Ron's got an interview after this one, 1 second, with Miles Johnson from the Base Project, or the Basis Project, covering MK Ultra, alien technology, UFOs, all the work that him and his team have done over the years. The guy's a pretty big deal, and it's going to be a really, really good interview. And then at 9:30, I'm live on my channel covering the second half of who the Clintons really are, and then diving into our usual shenanigans about 11 o'clock for our Friday night nonsense stream.
Okay, so I'll join you on that one. Send me the link.
I'll send you all the links, not a problem.
Okay, I have to go, guys, but have a wonderful day.
No problems. Take it easy. We'll see you soon, Paula. So, where are we now? Where is the button? Where is the button? This one. All right, nice. So, I mean, where are you guys at with the Clintons? I mean, we're seeing through the nonsense. It's been decades and decades and decades of conspiracy, conspirafact, and things that have actually gone to court. No charges, of course. We're not pointing any fingers at the Clintons. I'm sure they are super awesome, and there's nothing suspicious that's going to come out in any of these up and coming depositions. But man, are we here for some form of truth? Now, for me, foundations, and when people go in to give relief and there be any form of questionable act take place, for me, the whole Haiti and the missing kids is a massive one. 1 second. Because where were they going? And how is this so massively covered up? So here, listen to this. Contrary to reports in the media, the crowd-sourced investigation, labeled by some as word I can't say, popular Italian dish, did not begin with internet sleuths digging through released emails. It began with a shocking discovery that Hillary and Bill provided assistance to convicted child transporter Laura Silsby, resulting in a reduced sentence for child, word beginning with a T. Silsby was arrested at the Haitian border listen, it'd be one thing if it was like women tries to sneak kids off in private jet. Okay. That's one level of like sussy McSusserson. But at the border, like, I'm sorry. Like, trust me, I have become sadly, Americans have been having to become experts at this for years. I'm now just starting to get into it. But whenever anybody turns up at your border with a bunch of kids with no paperwork, none of that, right? None of that leads to anything good. All right? None of it. Okay? None of it. So, without documenting, her sentence and charges were reduced after an intervention by Bill Clinton. Because you'd want to step in for a human transporter that was caught with 33 kids at a border with no paperwork, right? Like, put a 1 in the side chat if that is totally what you would do. Put a 2 in the side chat if it's a big hell no from you. Let me just put it this way. So let's say this was all part of a big rescue mission, right? Then Bill Clinton at this point would come out and be like, well, actually, this was all part of Operation Haystack, where we were trying to liberate these children. She's actually a Black Ops member, and whipping out all the paperwork and stuff, right? That's how that would go, yeah? So this woman has just decided to just nab 33 kids and head for the border. Okay, Bill, no problem, Bill. In the aftermath of Sylvie's arrest, her originally retained lawyer George Poello was arrested in connection with international smuggling ring accused of transporting women and minors from central Haiti. Wait a minute. Come on. Her originally retained lawyer, George Poello, was arrested in connection with an international smuggling ring accused of T-wording women and minors from Central America and Haiti. The revelation of this news in November was either ignored by the Western media or attacked by Clinton-controlled publications. That's a bit mad. Like, is that not just a bit like, wait a minute, in fact, hang on a minute, what is Hillary, what's that? Hillary, Bill, mate, come on. Right, Hillary intervened politically on behalf of Laura Silsby. Laura Silsby is a former director of the New Life Children's Refuge. Of course she is, mate. Of course she is. Brilliant. Emails from her organization can be found in a certain place, which I don't want to mention because it's too tied to a certain word, discussing the NGO before her arrest. Silsby's organization also appears in the list of things that were released in that place that I can't mention. I need to turn down the S's. Hang on a second. I know that makes no sense. DS-er. DS. Disgusting. There we go. That's better. Discussing the NGO before her arrest. Silsby's organization also appears in the thing that I can't say. Soliciting donations for their ministry, the refuge was founded by Silsby and Carissa Coulter, both attendees of the Central Valley Baptist Church in Meridian, Idaho. Silsby was reported to have a history of bad debts and unpaid wages. Motive! Maybe not, though. Maybe she's a super cool lady. Laura had claimed that she planned to build an orphanage in the Dominion. Okay. There's nothing more that makes me more happy than knowing that a potential child transporter and their dark side of the force lawyer are raising funds to not only build an orphanage in the Dominican Republic, which, by the way, I imagine is a little bit corruptible, after the former director of the New Life Children's Refuge, okay, was caught at the border with 33 freaking Waynes. What, mate? Sorry? It's cool, man. I'm really glad that Bill stepped in to help this woman. You know? I'm really glad because she sounds like the sort of person you would want taxpayers' money being used by a president to help, right? What do you think, Hillary? Oh, still smiling because you've got leverage. Let's tune in with Bill. How's Bill feeling? Bill's still like, oh, I ain't got no leverage. Yep. Leverage, no leverage. In this particular one, I like to think she's sitting there thinking, guy doesn't even know how much leverage I got. Do you know what I'm saying? Look at her face. She's like, Bill, in 2025, we're going to go to court, and only one of us is coming out of this. Okay? Trust me, Bill. There's things I'm willing to do for people that you ain't willing to do for people. All right? Okay? I'm sure Hillary's got a long lineage of dresses that she can no longer wear in public. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. And his name is John C. All right, let's carry on. So, yeah, she's trying to build an orphanage in the Dominican Republic. Brilliant idea. A State Department diplomatic cable revealed that authorities in the country said she'd never submitted an application for the purpose. They instead located to Haiti. On January 29th, 2010, Silsby was arrested with 9 other American nationals attempting to steal 33 children from the country, most of whom were not even orphans and had families, according to some reports. CNN reported on the February 9th, 2010, that this was not the first time Silsby had attempted to T-word children out of Haiti. Wasn't the first time, eh? Well, I'm super glad that the first time she tried to steal a bunch of children that she was allowed back to the same place to wait for it. This deserves some reverb. This deserves some reverb. Steal more children. Goombas. Right. So, okay, hang on. First show we had attempted to T-word traveling out of Haiti. Haitian police, acting on a tip, intercepted Silsby in an earlier separate attempt to remove 40 children out of the country, where she got caught and she went, right, Bill, 40 is a bit too many. How about we try 33? Okay. Can't say, we can, okay, we can say that word. It's just, if I can avoid saying it, I'm gonna, just in case 3 weeks from now the terms of service change on YouTube, and then like that's what it's like. Okay, you ever seen those videos of like the goats they release through a minefield, right? And the goat doesn't really know, right? The goat doesn't know what's about to happen, right? But that's basically what working on YouTube is like. I am the goat, and we are in the minefield, and they'll just throw new mines down. Do you know what I'm saying? They'll just be like, oh. And then they'll make you turn back around and walk through areas you've already done. It's mad. Hillary and Bill Clinton took an extraordinary insert in Silsby's case from the moment she was arrested, almost immediately stepped in on her behalf. I mean, I'm so glad. I mean, that is so nice. The Harvard Human Rights Journal stated that one of Bill Clinton's first acts as a special envoy for the United Nations in Haiti was to put out a fire of a child removal scandal involving American citizens, because we wouldn't want American citizens being seen as a problematic race of individuals when it comes to natural disasters happening, and once or twice someone's caught with close to 75 kids that they're trying to smuggle out the border. Just relax. Jeez. Maybe this woman was trying to be an influencer and was taking them on one of those anything you grab, I'll buy for you shopping sprees. Maybe we're cynical, okay? You just don't know. Yeah, you do. So she was turned back at the Haitian border. For a brief period, Haitian authorities were considering adding a new kid NAPPING charge based on this evidence. You'd think that if the second time she'd done it, it was human the human T word, you would think that if there was evidence of a bunch of other times, this would be the right time to start stacking charges, right? This is the one. I mean, you would have to start stacking charges. Hillary and Bill Clinton took an extraordinary insert in Silsby's case. Okay, blah, 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 blah. One of Bill Clinton's first acts as special envoy for the United Nations in Haiti was to put out the fire of a child scandal involving American citizens. On Friday the 7th, 2010, the Sunday Times reported that Bill Clinton had an inverted to strike a deal with the Haitian government, securing the release of all conspirators except for Silsby. Prosecutors ultimately sought 6-month sentence in Silsby's case, reducing charges from conspiracy and child removal that begins with to mere arranging irregular travel. What is that? Arranging irregular. I mean, what is that? Like a Trevauget? Border crossing by Trevauget? Huh? That would be, that should be a crime. So arranging irregular travel, a shockingly light penalty given the circumstances of her arrest, which would likely have not been possible but for the intervention of the Clintons. Oh, I mean, nothing sus about that, Bill. Bill, come on, mate. Come on. God, Bill. I'm telling you. Like, how does that sit with everyone? Okay, now just remind yourself that this was 2 attempted removals of 33 and then 40 children. And then upon her being arrested, she was appointed a lawyer that later turned out to have been taken in for the exact same criminality. So one could argue, were they part of the same operation? Was it part of the same charges? Who knows? I don't know. I'm speculating. They didn't give me that information. But I mean, come on. Come on. And here's the thing. I just feel like for Haiti to be like, nah, mate, we ain't releasing this one. Like, what did they know? Like, what else has been kept out of the public eye on this? You know? Also, Catherine, I'm Ron. I'm the co-host. It rhymes with Sean, but I am in actual fact Ron. Big shout out to Sean from Ron. You know what I'm saying? On February 9th, okay. On February 9th, 2020, Hillary Clinton consulted with counselor. Hang on a second. This is doing my head in. Give me 1 second. This one. There we go. There we go. On February 9th, 2010, Hillary Clinton consulted with the counselor Cheryl Mills and other attorneys in an email discussing the U.S. government's options. Oh, who knows? Who knows? Like, looking at the track records of America, the only thing that I can probably say that swings in favor for these kids is they were caught by Haitians, right? Like, this was a Haitian case. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they'd gotten over the border and the Haitian government had asked for what had happened to these kids, no one would have heard about this at all. You know, it's right after an earthquake. What are we going to, is the world going to listen to a story about 33 missing kids after an earthquake? Because most of the world's going to go, died in the earthquake. Natural disasters in third world areas like this are a godsend to the monsters of this world who want to harvest a quick buffet for a event of evil. Allegedly. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we've got it all wrong, you know? Maybe we've got it all wrong. You know? It's a spicy meatball. Have we got something happening right now? Hang on a second. There was nothing on the sheet. No, there's nothing on the sheet. That's fine. I'm okay. Okay. So let me get back to this. Beg your pardon. One second. Okay, regarding the heavily redacted memo attached to the email does not reveal what these options consist. Hang on a minute, let me start this again. On February 9th, 2010, Hillary Clinton consulted with Counselor Cheryl Mills and other attorneys in an email discussing the U.S. government's options, inverted commas, regarding the arrested Americans. The heavily redacted memo attached to the email does not reveal what these options consisted of. However, the State Department's American Citizens Services is only authorized to offer a list of local English-speaking attorneys to Americans arrested or detained abroad. To go beyond that, authorities in a severe violation of protocol and to go beyond that for the lawyers is a severe violation of protocol and is illegal. Additional emails revealed that the State Department was involved in making statements on the Silby scandal and preparing to assist Silby's co-conspirators with their return to the United States, although this is consistent with the State Department's protocol in these situations. Like, diving in to save a group, fair enough, it's a group of Americans, right? Let me just make sure. I'm dog sitting for a friend and I'm just making sure I don't miss any communications. On February 11th, 2 days after the arrest, New York Times reported that Silsby's original lawyer, George Poello, was suspected of leading an international human T-word ring involving women and minors. According to the Harvard's Human Rights Journal, Poello was ultimately arrested in the investigation, being led by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Homeland Security investigators in connection with the ring. He was wanted in the United States, El Salvador, Costa Rica for his involvement with a network, T-word, Central America and Haitians. Does that not sound like a pound of flesh to you? Does that not sound like old George was actually best buddies up until this point with these people and was probably very surprised to find out that his head's been put on the block? Because I could argue that, you know? I bet old frickin' George here was like, oh, tidy. Another thing to sweep under the mat. It's absolutely bonkers. Look, we're going to go probably about another few more minutes. I want to go and make sure I'm really prepared for my next interview to this evening. I'm so excited for this. And it's going to be good. It's going to be a nice little breather break from the traditional evildoers of the world, shall we say, before we dive into some MK Ultra, alien technologies, all of that stuff. So yeah, I want to make sure I do use all proud on that. Now, where the hell is the banner I'm looking for? Right there, bosh. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing, because I appreciate you when you do that. Where is... Listen, Gordon, your guess is as good as mine, man. All right, your guess is as good as mine. Who is the next interview? The next interview is Miles Johnson, and he is the founder of the Basis project. And I'll read you the here we go. The Basis project is derived from the early pioneering Irish UFO Research Center created by Miles Johnson, John Hind, and Danny Wilson in 1970, publisher of the Irish UFO News. And their research is wild. And I can't wait to hear more about it. It really is. So you can check out, I'll put the website in the side chat for you guys. If you want to go and check it out before the show. Now remember, 9:30 tonight, we're going into the other side of the Clintons. The stuff that we can't talk about on the Sean Atwood channel, because that would be silly. Okay? That would be silly to allow the mothership to come to any form of harm. And we're certainly not going to be weaponized and play into their hands, because that would be silly. But what went on here, eh? Bill, Hillary. I'll tell you something, man. What were all the names? What were all the names that were mentioned? Was Bill Gates' name thrown out by Trump when he was getting on that plane? Was that somebody else that got shouted out by Trump? I can't remember if it was. I really can't. But there's a lot of people that are going to be real worried. I'm sure there's been a lot of phone calls of, don't worry, we're going to send one of them down, or everything's going to be pinned on an insignificant person who's going to walk outside a court one day and a piano is going to fall out of the Acme delivery company's biplane and it's going to smash into them. Cyan, where's everybody, mate? Like, how come the frickin' Jay-Z and Shmeesh Monsme have moved to the UK? Why is everybody coming here? It's crazy. It's crazy. Leonardo DiCaprio, off-ski. Ellen, off-ski. Oprah, off-ski. They're all going, right, how much of Hawaii is actually left? How much is left? That bit there left? Geese it. Buying it. Why, mate? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel real bad for Hawaii. I really do. It's so sad. So sad. Is that a live interview, Ron? Yes, it certainly is. Certainly is, Sharon. It's so sad. It really, really is. Just to see it all being divvied up and land that people have had access to since the dawn of time. Okay, the dawn. Just try and get that into your head. The dawn of time. Okay, and then, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you've got money and stuff's for sale, you should be able to buy it, right? That should be fair, yeah. But why is it available to buy? Like, I don't understand. Why is it available to buy? And like, it doesn't make sense. So, because it must have just been Hawaii that owned it, right? Which is America, right? Hawaii has a lot of shenanigans. Okay. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I feel so bad for all the people of Hawaii. I really do. I really do. It's really sad. Ah, yeah, freaking. Oh, I almost proper swore there because that was Bernie. That was a Bernie burn. Ow. Ron, they forced the Queen to hand over Hawaii. Okay, well, it's a lesser of two. I mean, which it's kind of like being offered a poop sandwich with one poop or two. But I don't think the Queen would have done that. I really don't. Oh, that's not Hawaii. That's Epstein Island. But looking at the island triggered me about Hawaii. This is definitely not Hawaii. This is Shenanigans Island. Oh, oh God. See, in one argument, right, you can be like, it's my road, right? But then once you remove like the cycle from the conversation, it's like, who does that? Who does that after being criticized for celebrities buying up all of this land and keeping locals from using it? When the whole pretense of Hawaii being divvied up and locals suffering because they're now got restrictions of movement around places that have been since the dawn of time. The dawn of time. And for her to be like, nah, I'm not opening the gate, that's a bit much. I mean, if it was like any other reason, right, other than massive natural disaster, right, nobody would be paying attention to this, right? But you can't be doing that, Oprah. You can't be doing that, mate. I'm sorry. Just can't be doing it. Wait 1 second. Oh, you know, that once you're one of these evil elites, first you get your island, then you get your tunnels. You know what I'm saying? But it's annoying, man, because like it spoils buying islands and yachts for the rest of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine how sus it would be if like you won the lottery, you got a little bit of money, and then you find some little tiny island that you can afford to buy, and you go back and tell your mates, I've just bought an island. Pff, right, aye. That you've done, Epstein, aye. That you've done, pal. You're gonna get a wee private jet and all, are you, aye? Uh-huh. Ruined it. Ruined it. Ruined it for everyone. Ruined it for everyone, mate. Totally did. And Diddy did it to the bloody yachts and to tunnels. Can't have a yacht or a tunnel or an island now. Stigma. Stigma, mate. Just saying, man. Who doesn't want a cool tunnel going somewhere that doesn't involve any non-consensual, horrific acts being taken place? Tunnels sound awesome. But yeah, nah. No. I don't want one. Too much. Too much dusting. All right. I thought you said it's too disgusting. I was going to be like, no, they don't make you do that. When it was like when you buy an island, it doesn't come with a contract that says you've got to be a monster. Yeah, man. Do you know what no one's managed to spoil yet, though? Do you know what they've not managed to spoil yet, people? Right? You want to see what Ron has decided to go for? Yeah. No elite has managed to spoil this yet. Okay? So this is a safe option for if you want to have a party at sea, kind of. It's water, it's not sea, right? But you telling me you can't have a decent party on one of these? Nobody's thinking that's sus. Okay? So I'm just saying, canal boats. All right? If we start seeing, I swear to God, if we start seeing Ellen and Oprah, right, buying canal boats, there's gonna be problems. Okay? If they ruin canal boats, because private jets, tunnels, islands, they've ruined them. They've ruined them all. You know what I'm saying? Completely ruined them all. So yeah. Well, look, this has been a nice little opening to the shenanigans and the nonsense that has been recorded in the news. We're just talking about facts in the news with regards to Haiti and one attempted remover of 40 kids, one attempted remover of 33 kids. All of this is in the news. Of course, the Clintons played apparently no part in any of this. I'm not saying that they have, other than stepping in publicly to reduce the sentence and help these individuals. Other than that, crazy. Now, for those of you who come and join me on a Friday night over on my channel for a little bit of nonsense, that will be happening probably about 11 o'clock. I will see you guys about 9:30, and I will see you all within the next 40 minutes here live on the Sean Atwood channel to go over all of the Basis project and Miles's work and hidden tech and aliens and all that stuff. So thank you for being here. Big shout out to Paula and Manuela for being here too. And yeah, thank you to everyone for your support. Please like and share. It really does help and mean the world to me. And I appreciate every single one of you who comes up and sees my shows and supports me. And I really, really appreciate every single one of you lovely people. And big shout out to the mods. See yous in the next one, my G's. Peace.